Good evening.
Hi, Tony. How are you, my darling?
Hanging in there. Hanging in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to turn my phone off. There. Oh my God. I'm always what is it? A day late, a dollar short. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm discombobulated, as I shared with you and everyone just prior to the show during sound check. And anyone who's not discombobulated right now, anyone who is not mindful, attentive, disturbed, and deeply moved by what we're seeing happening in the world is just simply not paying any attention and is oblivious to the events on the planet.
Absolutely.
And what is happening on the planet right now is the most precipitous and most precarious time that we have faced, certainly in my lifetime. Certainly that. My mother and father were both born into the Second World War, 35 and 39, respectively, the years of their birth, and they both remember it. And we are dangling on the precipice of a chasm so deep and so wide that what's going on now could conceivably change the face of the world as we know it.
Or worse.
Yes. I recently told you I saw the movie Don't Look Up, and on my second viewing of it, I looked at my father because he wanted to see it, and I said, Dad, it just occurred to me, we are the comet.
Oh, absolutely.
We're the comet. We are that self-destructive. So I think that the whole vibration of the planet right now is in a frenzy, a sense of urgency and dismay, unlike anything that I have ever felt. All of it legitimately based in fear for the future of Ukraine, for the future of Western Europe, for the future of humanity. There are 440 nuclear power plants on this planet, which is 440 too many as far as I am concerned. Because if you don't have a place to throw out the garbage that you create from something like that, and it has a half-life of 500 to 1,000 years, then you shouldn't be producing it on your planet. Period.
No.
That's my opinion about that. There are other ways to produce energy, and just because we can doesn't mean we should. But Vladimir Putin, who is a madman, is sitting on 600 ICBMs. He's got the largest nuclear arsenal in the entire world. And this, in the last 9 days, has proved himself. If there was ever any doubt prior to the last 9 days, let it be known now that this is a megalomaniac who has been so corrupted and perverted and twisted by his own power and his own wealth that he cares not for anyone in his own country, at his borders, and beyond.
Agreed. I completely agree.
So we need to think about this. We need to talk about this. We need to pray about this. We need to reflect about this. And everyone needs to pay attention and do whatever we can to help circumvent some of the fear, dispel some of the fear enough that we can feel the empathy, the love that we feel for the Ukrainian people as they go through this most horrendous event since World War II, the first land war in Europe since World War II. Unprovoked, uninstigated. 10 days ago, these people were getting up, putting on their shoes, brushing their teeth, and going to work. And now their homes are in flames. Their animals have been left behind in apartments through no fault of their own. They didn't have a choice. The fear for me last night was palpable. I could feel all through me this visceral urgency. Like, this might be it. This might be it. If they had completely succeeded at bombarding that nuclear power plant, and it had erupted and just burst into flames and spewed its contents all over hundreds and hundreds of square miles that would have been directly affected by it. But the long-term damage and how fast it goes up into the atmosphere and circumnavigates the globe.
Right.
All of these considerations must be, it's not their problem. It's our problem.
Right.
It's
everyone.
problem.
It's everyone on the planet.
Yeah. And, I'll tell you what, Tony, I don't know what good my words can do for anyone other than to let them know that they're not the only ones that feel like this. You know, that this is a natural reaction to what is happening if you are paying attention.
Right.
But I have to tell you, and, last week we reran our wonderful episode with Kathleen Martin because you and I were both at separate events. And I don't know if I could have even addressed it. My level of anxiety was so high. I was just grateful not to have to do a live show last Friday night because I could barely breathe. And last night, I think I held my breath all night. I swear. Maybe I breathed through my eyes, but I am so stunned. I am so in awe of the pure, unadulterated evil that has been unleashed on this earth, that it makes me so angry that I can't find words in this language or any other to express the level of anger that I feel. And as far as Vladimir Putin is concerned, TikTok, you son of a bitch, your days are numbered. I hope the message gets through to him. I hope it does. I'm a little nothing to him, but I hope somebody says those words or something akin to them soon to him, because he cannot be allowed to, he is an evil that must be vanquished from the earth. He simply must be.
I agree. And he made himself ruler until like 2039.
Yes, way beyond his actual life expectancy. No, he's a dictator. Emphasis on dick. And what we really, really need to do is say so. Stop calling him President Putin. Stop. Yeah. He's not a president. He's a dictator. No. We have a president. He's a dictator. And what he is a maniacal dictator who is willing to use his power in any conceivable way that he can, so that when I guess he claims Ukraine again as part of the original Soviet Union, that what he has is a plot of cold, dead, scorched earth to claim as his own.
Why you'd even want to do that, I have no idea. Because like you said, it travels in the atmosphere, it goes around the globe. He's going to hurt his own country, his own people, and it just makes no sense. None.
He already has hurt all of us.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a time for the entire, if there was ever a night that the title of this show was appropriate to the subject matter, this is it. Because the time is now. We need all of us to wake up, to make our collective demand that this will not stand, and do everything in our power. And, imagine that beautiful country restored and rebuilt after Vladimir Putin blew apart a 1,000-year-old city, 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
With ancient connections between the people of these two countries. Absolutely ancient. And I'm glad, Tammy. I'm glad, because I know everyone is feeling the stress, sweetheart. I know it. Honey, I'm surprised I could eat my dinner. I must have just been really hungry, because I'm sick. I'm physically, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, viscerally sick, made sick by what is happening on this planet. And we have to find a way to defeat this fear, at least overcome it, so that we can do something positive. I would suggest anyone in a position, I don't care if it's $5, make some donation to unicefusa.org. Make some contribution, whatever you can, to help the poor little children that are being dragged from the only home they've ever known and thrown on trains so eerily reminiscent of not that long ago.
Yeah.
You know, we have to do whatever we can. But the most important thing, I believe, the most important thing that we can do is to focus our mental energy to tap into the collective consciousness as a whole, to feel those around us, around this planet, who are equally disturbed, distressed, frightened, and try to lift them up into a certain knowing that this evil will be defeated. Yeah. He will. I don't know how many lives he will take before that happens, but his days are numbered, and he will have to go to jail, go to his grave. I don't care where he goes. But here's the thing. We need to live in a world, and we need to envision a world where one man can no longer call all the shots and hold the entire planet by the throat on a whim.
Yeah,
a man who is isolated, a man who is mentally unstable, who has chosen deliberately to destabilize the planet. If this is what he wants to be his legacy to be, so sorry. We're not going back.
He has no right. He has no right to make those choices.
No. And if we are going to be one planet that lives in peace, then this is a moment when we need to reestablish, if we've already felt it, or come to grips with a unified realization of oneness and pure love. And take that love that you feel deep in your soul and extend it to the mothers and the children, because another thing that needs to happen is the good men of the world need to stand with the women and the children and say no more. Because as long as history has been recorded, men make war, women and children suffer and die. Not just other men, the women and children, the animals, the planet, all suffer and wither and often die beneath the weight of war. And if we do not come to grips with this now, if we do not face this truth about humanity now and vanquish the evil as the true spiritual warriors that we are, vanquish the evil which plods across the land, which exists on this planet, which is what is holding us back from a higher understanding of what life can be here. 9 days ago, on February 24th, I was outside sitting on my terrace. I don't know if I've even told you this yet, Tony. We haven't really had a chance to talk. But I was sitting out having a cigarette and a cup of coffee. It was early in the morning. I got a wicked download. It was a pretty deep, resonant one this side. And then it stopped. And I was just sitting there and taking it in because, we were already knowing that the troops were converging and that there is evil in the land. And we were all waiting. And as I sat there, I got the most succinct message that I have ever received. And you know me well, and I've received many.
Yes.
And this message was precisely as follows. If we are here, this planet and its people are in crisis. We are here.
Well, that says it all right there.
Yep. Yep. And implicit in that message was a capital we, because they are us, we are them, and we, capital we, are one. And so we have to do their good work down here on the planet until we are at a place where acceptance will not cause, a massive loss of life, until, we're not quite there yet. We're just not quite there yet. So in the interim, it's our job, your job, my job, Dana's job, everybody's job who's, tapped into this, to understand and that implicit in the message is we are here to help. And so, I beg of everyone within earshot or sight of this broadcast to take a few moments sometime tonight and focus your energy, your mental energy, on what you want this world to look like, what you want Ukraine to be restored as, what you want for the general global sweeping consciousness to rise up against this ominous, sinister, maniacal man and all that he represents, because he's not the only one. Let us not for a moment forget about Kim Jong-un. This is even a larger problem than Putin. He's just at the pinnacle of it right now. But we need to collectively change our mind about what we want our world to look like, what a civilized society is, and how we need to move forward, and what we wish to leave behind for those of our loved ones that will live beyond our years.
Right.
So the message is, if we are here, this planet and its people are in crisis. We are here. So take solace and look up. And on that happy note, thank you for your indulgence, Tony. I don't even know where that all came from. And I quite frankly don't even remember what I said. It just poured from me like opening a vein.
It needed to be said. It needed to be said.
Well, let's bring in one of the most wonderful women I know, one of the most wonderful human beings that I know, although I'm not sure she's completely 100%. Her name is Dana Stricker, and she is a very gifted medium, and she is also likewise a very wise soul. So let us
here she comes.
Thank you.
Hi,
darling. I'm sorry I used up so much of your time. You can feel free to talk for the next 20 minutes, and I'll keep my mouth shut.
No. I agreed with everything you said, obviously. And I think it's important, talking to some people here, if you don't mind me kind of adding to that.
Please.
I live in a very small rural area in Wisconsin. So we're kind of isolated, or feel that way, to the world, if you will.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is going on, business as usual. I have talked to a few people. Obviously, there's alarm and there's panic. Yeah. But what I think is missing is, and I'm not trying to sound condescending, but we are all Ukraine.
All of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think that's hard for people to digest.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are our brothers and our sisters. And you know what? The boys that are stuck inside these horrific tanks, they're us too.
Well,
and being sent to their death and didn't even know
and
where they were going.
Yeah. It's like, I guess I'm at war. I mean, they had no clue. It's just like, basically, it seems so... Sorry, I don't normally cry.
It's okay. No, sweetheart. Fuck. If there was ever
know.
a reason to cry, it's
I
now.
don't
I got
normally
my whole
cry.
box of tissues right here.
It just irritates me so much that
It bubbles up.
I
I know.
don't get how this is even happening. And it's happening, like you said, it's so reminiscent of World War II on so many levels. And the Ukrainian president, my God. Everything is just super overwhelming in that department. But I think it's important. I think the message to take out of anything right now is that you might not be from the Ukraine, but you are Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah. Because really, ultimately, the borders are self-imposed, drawn by men
Yep.
to claim property, assets, minerals, riches. The borders were all drawn by men. They don't really exist. Take a look at the world from away from it.
I can't even keep track of the geography in that part of the world myself because when I was in high school, none of that was that.
Yeah, I know.
But there's a lot of foot stomping going on. There's a lot of grandstanding going on. And it's like a little boy again in control of a very big button.
Yes.
And, Kim Jong-un, same thing.
Same thing.
From what we see, from what we hear, from everything obvious out there. And now I think I just read something about parts of Africa have sided with Russia. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. And anyone that does, any country that does, should be shunned in the same way that they're being expelled from the World Union. It's
people don't get the gravity of the situation. If there is a nuke anywhere, it's going to hurt everyone. Not just Ukraine, not just Europe. It's us. It's China. It's all of it.
It's the whales in the ocean. It's the birds.
Yeah.
It's the land.
It's the whole 9 yards. So that's,
it's
obviously, everything. It's hard to even add any sort of levity to that situation. Aside, I just don't understand. And I sound horribly evil when I say this, and I know I'm probably going to get some slap back for it. And I apologize in advance if I offend someone. But I really hope that the guy that put the $1 million bounty on Putin's head ends up paying somebody that money. I don't
think it should have been 100 million. That's a way to get the job done. No,
probably has. Just take a couple of those yachts.
Yeah,
ship them over.
I don't care if he dies or he rots in jail.
Yeah,
because the world court finally got to him and got him arrested. He's so well hidden and protected that would have to be. Most
cowards are.
Yes,
most
of course.
Cowards are.
Yes, he would have to. It would have to be an inside job. It would have to be one of his own that did it. So I don't think that we should count on that because these automatons are pre-programmed to say yes, sir. So I think that it just needs to be like, I don't care if he runs away to one of his dachas and lives out the rest of his life in luxury. I don't care. Get out. And then somebody get Navalny out of prison, put someone in charge temporarily, hold a real election in Russia, and then watch how fast Russia is welcomed back into conversation, at least in the free world.
I was in high school in the 80s, and we had the whole thing with Ronald Reagan and Russia was the enemy, and Russia was this and that. And then things got a little bit better for a while, and then this guy shows up, and it all got sucked right back out the back door.
Part of it was that Gorbachev had a divine idea, and that was to liberate all of the countries that had been absorbed into what became USSR, and to give them their freedom and to let them live into their own potential as democracies. And he and Reagan had a close personal friendship. Now, there wasn't a whole lot that Reagan stood for that I agreed with, and there was some
Me
shenanigans
either, but we
going
won't
on,
go
and
into
I had my issues. But
yeah.
when somebody's right, I'll say so. And still, if we didn't hear these words at least once a month on TV, making some reference to something, Mr. Gorbachev teared down this wall. That was powerful. That was about liberation, about freeing a people that had lived under communist rule, dominated, and lived impoverished for years and years. And it was an inspiring thing. And Zelensky is as equally inspiring with every
really
word that
is.
he says.
And I'm like, well, you know me. I can
do.
get a little salty about some subjects, and I'm not afraid to say what I think.
Always.
I think that we as a nation are really good at making people into more than what they are. I think that we are very, very good at, like, for instance, during COVID, the healthcare worker became a hero all of a sudden, which they should be. Don't get me wrong. I agree with that. But you understand, it was like,
I do.
After
we
certain
elevate
things,
people,
we
elevate
elevate
them on pedestals.
Exactly, for a while.
We want to have someone to look up to. But the thing about Zelensky,
that's different, because he actually is that
because
way.
He's in there with his soldiers.
Yeah.
He's out on the streets. He's just as susceptible of being struck by a cluster bomb, which is, by the way, illegal. According to the Geneva Conventions, illegal weaponry of war. And these constitute war crimes. Somebody else doesn't want to say it, I'll say it. Crimes against humanity. This is a genocide wannabe that could become an actual genocide. 6 million Jews.
I stand by my original statement about the guy with the $1 million bond.
Yeah.
That
Make
is
it 100.
Sorry, everybody. That's how I feel about it. Take him out.
He's got to go.
Forgive me.
I don't care how he goes. He's got to come out of power. I don't care how that looks. I really don't.
Yep.
This is pure, unadulterated evil. And if I truly believe that good conquers evil and love conquers fear, then we need to do whatever we can, however we can, even by simply elevating the conversation and raising the vibration and bringing us to a higher awareness of what this is, and that we are at a pivot point. We are at a point of critical mass on the whole planet right now, and it needs to be acknowledged.
I think that the Ukrainian president should be elevated, is what I was getting at. It's not like the other things that we tend to do that with. Yeah. I think he the proof's in the pudding, people. Yeah. Look at where he is. He could be bunkered out somewhere too, and he's not. And he's also not afraid to sit down face to face.
He's not afraid.
He's not afraid. I mean, he's probably afraid to die and leave his family, obviously.
Of course.
But he's willing to do so over this.
He's overcome his fear. Like I said earlier, he has found a way to overcome his fear. It's not that the fear doesn't exist. Exactly. He has found a way to overcome it so that he can function and lead the way and help his people as much as possible and be a communicator with the world. Let people know the truth while Putin is arresting, jailing, and who knows what else to protesters in his own country, and has virtually expelled the free press. What little of it remained in Russia is now gone, and fleeing for their lives.
When your own people that are usually terrified to say, pardon the expression, but boo to a ghost about anything.
Yeah.
And if you have those people that are like, wait a minute, we're not going to do this, and I have never, not in this situation, I would never have thought that those citizens of Russia would overcome that and actually have demonstrations and stuff on the street about it. That's indicative of something is very wrong going on in that country beyond what we know.
Well, remember the Arab Spring. Remember. And governments that are abusive, that are oppressive, that are violent, that are exude nothing but negative energy and wield their power like the sword of Damocles above the heads of their own citizens, have no place left on this earth. And now is the time for us to make that shift. This is all part of the paradigm shift. All of it is.
I am aware of that. And you know, it just keeps snowballing.
I know. I know.
Something else is coming into play, which is just exactly what it is. Yes. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it does to us. Yeah. But my question for you. So
that's not how this show works.
No. Listen, lady, I have just one.
Okay.
And this is, I don't know if anybody in the audience can answer it or if you can answer it. I am super curious, and I know that there's been several other things going on, so it might not be monitored as closely as usual, but I'm wondering how many of the galactic family have been in their UFOs, like, checking us out over, 3 weeks ago, if it's gone up.
Yeah, it has gone up immeasurably. And because I know certain people in the field,
yes,
I'm sometimes privy to film footage that the general public has not seen yet.
Okay.
And what I can tell you is that the activity over particularly the Crimean Peninsula, but all of Ukraine and Russia, Belarus, Poland, Finland, Scandinavia, is off the charts.
Interesting. I thought maybe I haven't looked anywhere, or I was going to ask you because you're you.
Yeah.
Who else would I ask?
But the thing is that people aren't looking up. We're not even getting a fraction of the recordings that we could get because they're looking down to make sure they don't step on a landmine. They're looking down to see if the shattered glass in front of them is sharp enough to permeate what's left of their boots. They're looking down, ground level right now. That's where the threat is, not up above. But my
concern is that, I knew right away, and this is, I don't know how I knew it. We'll just say I knew right away when in the first couple of days when they went to Chernobyl.
Yeah.
I knew this was coming.
Me too. I knew actually way before then.
Chernobyl, I'm sure, but Chernobyl is still an issue, you guys. If they if that gets bombed, all of that radiation that's in the ground
is released.
Europe is cooked. If Europe gets cooked, we get cooked. Maybe not directly, but there's all kinds of things that play here. It's not just the big one. You're talking, he's got 2 nuclear power plants right now.
And there's no fixing that kind of broken.
No.
I mean, look at Fukushima. Look at Fukushima. It's a fucking disaster. It should be at the top headline on every single newspaper around every single country in the world every day. That's how bad what's still going on at Fukushima is. And now we're dealing with this on the other side of the planet. I know.
And we have to fix this ourselves because the galactic family will not intervene.
No,
because we are our own idiots and made the mess.
And our own worst enemies. Yep. This is a time for us to really pause and reflect on what we want this world to be like. And then with all of our hearts and all of our might, we need to put that out into the collective unified field of consciousness and help raise the vibration of this planet, help stabilize the vibration of this planet that is vibrating in fear mode right now to such an extent that I've had so many people reach out to me that I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't. I mean, it's like, I'm so upset. I'm so upset. I know. Here's my cart. Buckle up, Buttercup. Get on in. I feel it too. It would be absolutely disingenuous of me to come on and say, oh, we will overcome all of this with light and love. Well, isn't that great? Love is an action word. It's not a noun. You have to put your love into action. And let me tell you, oh, you are so sweet. Beth. I love her. I love this. This is great.
Start that campaign. That's right.
That's awesome. The thing is that what we do need to talk about are a few things that I have seen and a few things I'm sure you have seen in recent days that give me hope. One of them was a couple who went to the train station. They looked to be middle-aged people of means, and they have a very large house in Finland. And they went to the train station to get 8 Ukrainians to come live with them, not to spend a couple of nights and take a shower, to come live with them. 8 of them. They took, I think they took 2 mothers and 6 kids, or 3 mothers and 5 kids. They took families to come stay with them where they would not have to worry about anything, that all of their needs would be met. And these people, when asked, why are you doing this, said, because we can. And it's the only thing to do.
I agree. I mean,
because we can.
There are people, I talked to my friend Alex, who lives in Denmark. I've known him since high school. He was an exchange student here, and we've kept in touch all these years. I talk to him just about every day about this because he's right there.
Yeah.
And they got their first Ukrainian people that are fleeing. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name of it. Okay. Refugees in, I think, the day before yesterday. And he said, it's just crazy to even see that happening. That it's like World War, like the trains of the Jews that those poor Jewish people. I mean, it's the same thing all over again. And
except that they are not going to concentration camps. They are going to other countries that
we are all in a concentration camp right now, honey. Because that's gotta be, I can't even say it.
I know.
They have to address this nuclear issue yesterday.
Know. Yeah, we do. And this is not something that can be put off. This is something that is being addressed at the United Nations, in the European Union, at NATO. This is
thank God we're still in NATO because
AIUA. I mean, they're all on this. Everybody is on this. And I know that that's creating a lot of extra tension and pressure in the Kremlin. And that's too goddamn bad, isn't it? Because now you're starting to feel some of the same fear and pressure that all the rest of the entire world is, because you're a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
And, this has got to, I mean, everybody needs to be on the same page with this. Everybody does. We all need to say absolutely no more to anyone who has the power to terrorize the world. He's a terrorist.
Well,
he always has been.
Even if this particular disaster somehow gets better, and I pray that it does, the problem too here, people, is that now a precedent, not like the president, has been set for nuclear terrorism.
Yeah.
Because it works, right?
When are we going
He's
to learn
proving
our
that
lessons?
day after day after day.
Yes.
So it's just setting us up for this in the future. Just maybe not with Russia, maybe with Kim Jong-un, maybe with China, maybe with whoever has nukes out there that decides.
So
you know
what's
what?
the common denominator? Maybe
Nukes.
a nuclear-free world. Maybe that. Maybe
I've been
that's
singing
what
that
it
since
comes to.
1983.
Since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
I was in high school, man. That's my whole life. It's almost like jaded or ready for this to come up.
I know.
Because I remember talking about this pretty much my whole adult life.
Yeah.
It's been an issue, but the thing that bothers me is, again, regardless of the outcome here, and I pray it's a good outcome for all of us.
The good outcome
going to
is
be that part of it.
The people that are working at that power plant right now are working there with guns to their heads. And that's the good outcome.
Yeah.
That's the good outcome. Everybody's still alive and the power plant is still up and running. And it doesn't have to stay that way. It doesn't. All it takes is another order from, Heil Hitler to change that.
Unless the guy that, I don't know. None of us know. But I think all of us have felt it, especially in our communities, like who we hang out with, what we do for a living and all that other stuff. I think across the board, everybody's been feeling off for at least, I mean, my God, we've been through the mill with COVID and our own politics in this country. My God, if anything should bring us together, it should be this. This has nothing to do with either end. This has to do with not living anymore.
Yeah, this is life and death. This is good and evil. This is darkness and light. This is duality, in your face duality. World.
And there's no space for pretty words. There's no space for being, fancy with how you say something. It is what it is. I do not
feel polite about this at all.
I agree.
At all. You should hear when I watch the news, the filthy language that comes out of my mouth, just because it makes me feel better. Just a little better to tell him what he is. Every time I see his face, I cringe to the core of my being.
The face, which looks to be very, very bloated, like he's on steroids or chemo. Just a little FYI. Not saying that's what it is, but he looks rather
gaunt and ill.
His face is like the moon.
Yep.
Which is very steroidy to me, but
I don't care what's wrong with him. Me
either. But if he is a sick guy and he's like losing it over something he's already a little marginal to begin with.
It's lost. Yeah.
Somebody needs to come in and get him out of his. Get out. He needs to go. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what he is. That's an awful thing to say. I just know he needs to go.
I care more about his people than he does, and so do you. And so does, I venture to guess, everyone else that is watching this show. Care more about the Russian people, and they are leaving in droves. They are packing their shit, and they are leaving in droves.
I had a Russian exchange student at one point, and he was the nicest kid on earth, and I worry about him over there.
I'm sure.
And of course, now they've shut down any form of communication for the people there. No Facebook, no none of this.
No nothing. No social media. No news. No real news. Yeah, I know. I have a friend. Actually, she's a friend of my sister Christine, and they worked together for many years. And she comes from Belarus. And when she was a young mother and had her first baby in a stroller, she was just north of the border, just about maybe 100 kilometers north of Kyiv, when Chernobyl blew. And she said she could hear it. And then she saw the black cloud. And she thought that a terrible, terrible storm was coming. And she ran into the village with her baby in the stroller and tucked herself into a doorway as the cloud of radioactivity passed right through their town. She survived, and her daughter survived, but all of her children after had serious birth defects to the point where she decided she was not going to have children. All of her children's children now have birth defects. And that is because of Chernobyl.
Yeah.
That is a direct effect of being directly exposed to the radioactive cloud as it passed over the town in which she lived.
I can't even begin to imagine
in
that.
Belarus.
Yet they're going to stand up and...
Yeah, right. And they're going to, well, you know, look who their dictator is. You know, he's just a Putin wannabe is all. He was placed there. You know, Putin's pissed off because Zelensky's his own man. Putin's pissed off because Zelensky's popular the way he'd like to be and never will be. Zelensky is the man of the hour and a man for this time, and will probably lose his life in this and become a martyr. He probably will. I pray to God that that's not what happens. We have to be prepared for absolutely anything right now. We must. And I don't know. I get the whole no-fly zone thing. I get it. You know, we don't need to be the one that pulls the trigger on World War III, you know, us or NATO. We don't. But then that gives him extra power. I mean, if we take out a Russian anything, I don't care if it's a tank, if it's, you know, a guided missile, if it's a jet, if we take out anything with Russia written on the side of it, all bets are off, and it is World War III, and it will be nuclear, and then it will be over for all of us. We can't create a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Until he is out of office, out of power, and someone who is sane has stepped into that position, even temporarily. This will be a sea change if it occurs the way that I'm trying to envision it. And then Russia has to pay every dime that it costs to rebuild the cities of Ukraine that have been devastated and destroyed, indiscriminately carpet bombed. I can feel the fear of these people.
I am with you on that. And I think we're going to be seeing, and I'm not saying of the nuclear variety, but I can tell you, I think there's going to be more weapons that we have not witnessed before.
Yes, I think so too.
That are going to be so horrifying to even think exist. I don't even know what to do. It's horrible.
Well, I'm sure many people are reaching out to you right now, Dana. And, you know, what I want you to do is, you know, talk to our audience about your own gifts, how, you know.
Who I am?
Yes,
Okay.
who you are.
After all that.
and the ways that, you know, each one of us finds our way to help others. We do. You know, and we have a following on this show and our little show that is extraordinary, and it is actually worldwide. And so the words that we share, the sentiments that we put out, the vulgar language sometimes utilized on this channel.
Not by me.
Oh no, I've got that covered.
Yeah.
Do serve a purpose to some extent, because at least if we can lift a few people up and out of the morass, the solidified molasses we're trying to walk through to get day by day through this critical period in the conscious and spiritual evolution of humanity, then we each need to do our part to the extent that we are able. And, today you and Greta and I were, and anybody that doesn't know Greta Reefer is, oh my God, what a wonderful woman. What a woman. What a woman. Our mutual BFF.
Yeah.
She is, she represents me. I say you're my, my secret agent. She is. She's
We
my
need to make up a theme song for
not
her.
so secret. But helps me and guides me. And I know that she does the same with you. And today we were talking about doing, you do gallery readings, you're a psychic medium, you do individual readings, you do gallery readings. And so our mutual friend who you finally got to meet, Erin Bush, was on the phone with me today. And as soon as I got done talking with Erin, I called Greta. Greta called you. And so it begins, and we decided that if there was, we can only do what we can do. And if there was ever a time for us to, gather together this, deeply spiritual energy that we share, all with different gifts and different perspectives. And, we each come at everything a little differently, Erin's a Reiki healer, and you're a medium. And, but we've got a lot of very strong feminine energy in our circle.
There is a lot, actually, because I've got my solstice sisters too, the two women I work with, Christina Bowen and Adelita Smith. We do things. We're a healing group as well. So and that's a Greta kind of thing. She hooked us all together too. So
she did. So I thought that what we would do is share our thoughts about this among our circle with our viewers, and see if anyone would be interested in having me host a gallery for you. We could do it on Zoom, I guess.
That's
and then share it,
easiest.
With the whole world, because with Zoom you can have up to 40 guests. So that's a decent gallery. There we go.
Me.
Gee.
I got the big hair going in that picture, man.
Oh, you do. You have big hair. You look like you come from Cranston, Rhode Island.
Yeah, how's it going?
Okay, so this is good. See, now nobody even showed this to me today. Like, I never even saw this today. That's great.
I didn't do it.
So
I think that was Greta. Greta did that, not me. But I'm doing this as a free will donation thing too. I think it's important, if you have a question, you can ask it without paying $900 for me to tell you the answer.
Yeah, I hear
Is that the wrong way to put that?
Especially
right now.
That's not something that's right or wrong. That's you.
That's me.
That's just how you are. I mean, honest to God, I've said it 1,000 times. If I could afford to give my books away, I would.
I know. That's no. That's different.
I have to make some kind of a living, or I can't do this. So
no, that's totally different than what I do. Oh,
but the thing is that I think that it would, anybody wants to pitch in anything, and I want to encourage people again. The organization that's already boots on the ground is unicefusa.org.
Yes.
Even $5 will help feed a child for a night. I mean, let's just all do whatever we can at this critical juncture, at this inflection point, to help these poor, unfortunate people who 10 days ago were going to work, and now they don't have a work to go to. They don't have a home to live in. They don't have anything but what they can carry in a suitcase and get on a train to they don't know where.
Right.
I mean, what we all need to do is put ourselves in their shoes for even a moment and stop and imagine what it would be like if you had 5 minutes to go through your home and take what was important to you and leave, never to return, in order to spare your life.
Because if it can happen there, everybody, it can happen here, whether you want to believe that or not. It can happen here.
They are them.
Could be you.
We are them. They are us.
Exactly. But like on your home turf,
human race.
And I that's like seems to be like what I've been having problems with, is that people aren't people that are outside of my paranormal circle, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That don't want to see that or living because they don't see it physically. They're not in it, and I'm like, it's still going to affect you. You are them. So you need to.
Right. And I know, Dana, people have been banging your door down right now. People are afraid and they're uncertain and they want to know whatever they can about their current trajectory. They want to, everything's unstable. Everything feels so shaky. It literally feels like the world is shifting beneath our feet. And I know you have been inundated with requests for readings.
I have.
I know. I have been, my phone, da-ding, 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 just as we were starting the show tonight. I'm like, oh God, I got to turn this thing off.
Da-ding, da-ding, da-ding.
Yeah, turn the sound down, before Tony comes on. Excuse me. Oh my God. But and I know, and I think that it's wonderful that, you would want to do this, to reach out to as many. And I think that also as many people who feel compelled to be there with us, who feel like they have questions, who, just hope that something that makes them feel hopeful comes through for them.
Definitely.
A loved one. When we're teetering on,
we don't know what
chasm. Yeah. This is a time when people feel an urgency and a desperation. And I know, me too, Tammy. I just bawl. It's just awful. I mean, God almighty. Oh my God, my eyes are so puffy. It's like, screw it. I'm not putting any makeup on tonight. I don't care how I look, I don't. And then I broke down and said, I know how Dana's going to look. I got to make some kind of an effort. Oh,
come on.
I was puffed. I was seriously puffed. I mean, like really puffy.
Everybody is puffy right now.
Everybody's puffy
too.
Yeah, but I mean, Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man puffy.
Stay puffed
is how I was. Yeah. A nice hot rag on my face made a world of difference. That sounds really
good right now.
Well, what it did was it puffed up everything. It puffed up everything. So the big puff kind of blended in with the cold dead skin, and then it was warm and puffy, and it's better. It's better that way.
Warm and puffy.
Oh my God. I mean, we've got to laugh. Christine called me last night. She's like,
good for the laugh.
Yeah. Christine called me. She's like, Ghosts is coming on now. It's going to be the one with Isaac and the guy he shot. I love that show.
Funny. I love that show.
I know. And so
I didn't think I was going to like it. And I
love it.
Kind of snobby about the ghost stuff. I'm like, and then I actually really, really liked it. So I'm
Thank you, Mary Beth. It's last night my text back to her was, I just can't. And I told her I would record it. She said, Annie, you got to get away from this. I mean, you're going to drown in the quagmire of it. You've just got to get away from it. It will suck all the air out of your lungs. It will boil the blood in your veins. We've been using those two phrases a lot today. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't, I was transfixed and held motionless in an upright fetal position for hours as I watched and waited for some resolution. I couldn't just go to sleep and not know if when I woke up, it would be in an entirely different world.
I'm the opposite here because I have been sleeping nonstop. But part of the reason why, I think, is because I get a lot of my premonitory stuff when I'm asleep, quote unquote.
Yeah.
All of my earthquakes, all the stuff I've always gotten with earthquakes, tornadoes,
I know, me too.
all that
I knew
stuff.
Northridge.
It's
I knew,
always,
yeah.
It's always like in the dream state.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm looking for the end of this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like my subconscious is looking for that end game so I can prepare me and the people around me. I haven't seen it yet.
I get the whole medium thing. Dead people talk to me too. So I totally, they do.
Lucky us.
Yeah.
Most of the time anyway.
I just don't label myself as anything because I'm not as proficient with it. I'm like, if something pops in or someone has something to say, or, I have a momentary outburst for someone of a message that kind of comes through and I'm the conduit and I give it to them and then I move on. Those occasional moments that occur. Whereas you have honed and polished your skills in a remarkable way. Well, but I gotta tell you, I don't get the psychic piece. And I have psychic moments too. I have where I see what's coming. I feel what's coming and here it is. And I might not know exactly what it is, but I know it's going to be bad and I know it's going to be life altering. And that's how I've been since about mid-November, since around Thanksgiving.
Oh, thanks, Christina.
Christina is with us. God bless her heart.
Yes. I mean, I was born literally like, I don't know to be any other way.
Yeah.
So as far like I never had anybody to teach me when I was young, any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as like what I do, everybody's different that does this stuff.
Yes.
My psychic part really went like, as far as like predictions and that sort of thing, that's like insane even to me sometimes how I get that information. Cause I know it's not me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
I mean, if you know me as just a normal Joe that talks and chats, I'm always goofing around.
Be careful how you throw the word normal around, woman.
Okay.
You are Abby Normal if
I'm as Abby Normal. Just call me Abby.
I will. Oh, come on. Both of us have been called worse.
Oh, I definitely know that.
Yes.
But so like I see a lot of people and it, it's great if you have mentors and people to show you and this and that. But this was back, I'm 53 years old. I started reading professionally when I was 15 years old. I couldn't even tell anybody because my dad was Irish Catholic man.
Yeah. He'd have killed you.
Oh, he's a sweetie, but he was just like, there was a lot of this going on in the house.
Yeah, you'd have been put in a cage. Yep.
Who says I wasn't?
Yeah, well,
No, I'm kidding. I was not. But so, I mean, as far as you not understanding it, I personally think everybody on the face of the planet is a psychic. It's to what degree are you? Greta.
Oh, she's so great. Oh, our sweet, delightful Greta.
I swear to God, I have never laughed as hard as I laughed.
I know.
She is so funny.
I know. And, we needed to spend some time together this weekend. I think we all got each other through. I had Erin and you had Greta with you. And we did some serious hobnobbing and hanging out in my room. And, just
I got to hang out
hugging
with you
and kissing on each other. Oh, my God.
And Erin, too.
Yeah, I know. Isn't she great?
Yes, she's nice.
So, the thing is, all right, I'm going to ask you a philosophical question and you're going to do your best to answer it. And if you can't answer it, You're going to
I'll be
fake
honest.
it till you make it. Okay. You're going to just fake your way
Sure.
through it.
Sure.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep. Ready.
Okay. If being psychic truly exists, and it is a shared quality
Yes.
through all humanity, some of us accept it and utilize it. Some of us say, oh, no, thank you. That's not in my little 3D egg. And it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, I agree with you. I think all of us, to some extent or another, have this ability. Does it not, if you extrapolate it out, does it not necessitate the concept of everything happening in another dimension before it happens in this one, and that's how we perceive it?
It could very well.
I just had to ask.
No. Here's the thing about the paranormal that I wish was said more. None of us have the answer.
Right.
There isn't one single person, famous or not, that knows the deal.
Yep. And I say it all the time, and with no shame. I don't know. I don't know.
There are no experts.
Right.
You know,
None.
there are people that have great ideas, and they're fabulous to listen to, but they are only that. They are ideas. They are theories. We don't know. And we even get infighting in the paranormal about some of that stuff.
We do.
That's like not the place. You can't be an expert in a paranormal field. It's not normal because we don't know. And if you don't know, you can't study it and be a professional. You can be an avid enthusiast or very well read on it, yada, but you can't be an expert.
Well, this is one of the few fields of study where research is not conducive to gaining any authority status. It's just research being compiled upon research,
Right.
And we can only hope that somewhere down the road, maybe long after we're gone, somebody takes all the puzzle pieces together and says, oh, this is it.
And that all of it's important.
All of it is.
You know, I'm never going to sit here and say, no, I am gifted this and I am above all because I have this gift.
But you do that really well. You kind of look like Endora on Bewitched right now.
Oh, that's perfect.
She was hot.
Dr. Bombay, Bombay, come right away.
We're dating ourselves, but someone has to.
Way much. Sorry to the youngins that don't get that reference.
Well, I got 10 years on you. So somebody needs to go to TV Land and look up Bewitched and watch a few episodes so they really get it.
Yeah, that's right. But, to their question at hand, yes, I think it's very possible. We might be watching ourselves do things in other dimensions. I might be like Adele in another dimension.
Bring it. And maybe, who knows? And, if we are living if destiny is real, I mean, I've studied as a philosopher in college, free will versus determinism was one of my very favorite areas of study, because I found that, my thesis was that it can be both, that we can all have free will to screw our lives up as much as we want to.
Yes.
Or, to follow our hearts or to follow our destiny. And if we say yes to the universe and we go with the flow and, try not to fight so much in terms of our own evolution, then maybe we do live into our destiny. And, all of that was prompted by the experiences that I had growing up at the farm. All of it was. I wanted to know, what was it? There was something. I needed to know what that something was that exists beyond our mortal existence. There is something
there, guys. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. It makes you comfortable.
Whatever you want.
But the buck doesn't stop here. This is nothing. This goes away. It's a meat suit, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Take care of it, but in the end of the day, it's not going to last. So make sure to take care of what's in here.
Yeah.
Because that does.
What's in here? What's here?
Yes. How you treat other people, how you talk to other people.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is more important than what you look like.
I've seen you work, and I know that what you do is fascinating, and your approach to it is fascinating. So why don't you talk about that a little bit? And then I want to invite my precious friend, Tony Rathman, my producer, back in, because he always has erudite questions.
Okay.
You know, he's a wicked smart guy, as we say in Southern New England. Wicked smart. There he is. There he is.
I am here.
My Pleiadian brother, my star brother.
Hey, you know what? I forgot what you told me you thought I was, Annie.
You're Arcturian, honey.
Okay. I don't.
You are.
Okay.
You have Arcturian. You have some kind of Arcturian thing going on. At least that's what your eyes indicate to me. And plus, you're really smart too. You're wicked smart. and that's the Arcturians are the brainiacs of the universe that hang out in our part of the solar system. So, Tony, I wanted to ask you, and I know, I mean, this, if not for world events, this would have been a very different show. You know, we wanted to, you know, bring some people on and, you know, let them ask their questions, and we can still do that. We've still got time to do that with Dana, but, you know, I wanted to give you first dibs on questions because, you know, what we're studying, your attitude is the same as ours. We don't know where these gifts come from, where this connection comes from. But you always have something magical to add. So the floor is yours.
The thing about, you know, whether you're talking, you know, special abilities, whether you're talking about spirit investigations, whether you're talking about anything that's considered paranormal. Well, it's considered paranormal because it falls outside of our 3D world of science.
Right.
Therefore, it doesn't fit the model in any way, shape, or form. I mean, science basically says that unless you can bring it into a lab and duplicate it 3 times by 3, meaning 3 sets of 3, and it produces the same results each time, that otherwise it doesn't, it's not a fact, it's not a scientific fact, and it can't be proven. Well, you know, to me, there's flaws in that theory, but none of what we're dealing with, whether it's a gift, whether it's, you know, researching EVPs or anything in between, none of that's going to come into a lab because it can't be controlled. It can't be made to happen. None of the variables do we even know. Do we know who's speaking on an EVP or a ghost? No, we don't. We don't know whether it's spirit, extraterrestrial, multidimensional. We don't know. So, you know, anybody who's involved in any part of this on any level is probably taking on one of the biggest challenges and hardest research that exists, because you've got half of science saying no, none of that exists. Although in the last 8 to 10 years, there's been some big changes in all disciplines of science saying, yeah, we think consciousness survives death. We think this, we think that. So, you know, there are things turning, but the hardest thing is, you know, we're trying to figure out answers about something of which we're literally part of. If it's consciousness that has survived and exists outside of where we are today in the human body, having our own consciousness or our own mind trying to decipher itself is a near impossibility. The brain can figure out massive amounts of information, but the one thing it can't figure out is itself, how it works. It can't do that. So, that's what's so interesting about anything within the paranormal is that you're dealing with unknown variables. You can't control it. You can't reproduce it. It happens when it happens. And I don't care if you're talking UFO, Bigfoot stuff, paranormal stuff.
Exactly.
It's a challenge. So anybody that takes on that challenge, I give a ton of credit to, because it's not easy to do. And anybody with gifts like Dana and Aaron and, everybody else who researches it and tries to figure out what's going on, those are not easy tasks to do. And especially when you're trying to figure it out with brain function and consciousness, which is technically part of what you're trying to explain. And that dichotomy is really tough to do because, like I said, the brain can figure out almost anything, but it can't figure out how it functions. So interesting stuff, though, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I guess, Andrea, you'll probably agree with me on this one. Probably one of the good guys to listen to for any of you that go to paranormal conferences is John Tenney.
Oh, yeah.
He covers a lot of all the different stuff and doesn't really settle in any of them. So you can learn a lot by just listening to him talk about all the different things.
There's no such thing as a lecture by John Tenney that
awesome.
Isn't mind expanding, consciousness expanding.
And he's nice.
Every
he's a nice guy.
Listener.
Yep. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
So, but as far as like I said, I've been doing this for so long. I've been picked on for it. I got picketed for it at the local library doing a fundraiser for the food pantry. I mean, I've had burn the witch happen,
raising money for people that are hungry. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm awful. And I didn't profit one dime because that's not my intention. And it's crazy that the things that I have seen over the course of years before the paranormal even became accepted at all, or people thought it was cool. I mean, I was ghost hunting when I was 19 years old. I using powder traps. And that's how old I am, guys. That's old. So
powder traps.
I've just remember powder traps. Yeah. Oh my God.
I heard of them, but really I did not have to investigate subject matter when I lived with the subject matter, and it came. You
have a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I have a whole different. I don't feel the need to investigate. For me, it's a kind of more than anything, it's a waste of time because I'm out there searching for something that I already know exists.
Yep.
And so when I do it, I just do it for the benefit of others that might be at the event or something like that, and just would like to have me along to ask questions that I can't answer. I don't know. I don't know any other way to put it.
There is nobody that can top you, dear.
I'm snorting frankincense right now.
I completely.
Aromatherapy, no one baby. Aromatherapy. I'm telling you.
You are my favorite human right now.
I can understand, Andrea, when you say that, there's no need for you to investigate. I mean, I get that with what you've experienced basically your whole life and been through. I mean, I can understand that. But the thing about investigating is that like I said, for every answer you get, there's 100 or 500 more questions that come with it. And that's what keeps my wife and I continuing to go out, is because those questions just keep rolling in. And then those questions come in, which cause additional questions. And then you start to come up with your own, okay, well, if this happened, can this happen or that happen? And then you just keep going, and there's no end to it. So, it's been 12 years for us now, and we don't plan to stop anytime soon. So,
well, Tony, let me ask you a question for a moment. Are you and Cherie in this, pivotal time, in this, crisis point that we're at. Have either of you made or attempted to make conscious contact with the galactic family, or even attempted to ask for their assistance or intervention on behalf of humanity?
We have not had that opportunity to do that yet. We have been, between everything that's happening, not only in the world as a whole, the war, the rumors of this new COVID strain being even worse than any that have even hit yet, and then breaking it down to our personal lives. I mean, work and everything that Cherie's been about. We literally have not had time to sit down. But have we discussed being able to pull out the different boxes that we've built and try that? Absolutely, we have. Absolutely. We just haven't gotten to it yet.
Well, I think it would behoove all of us, and I completely hear you and I totally get it. But I think that it would behoove us, as many as can find the words, the thoughts, the desire. I think that this is a important time to make contact. I think
I would agree completely.
Conscious, subconscious, verbal, telepathic, I don't care how. I think that this is a time. It has been said, and it has been written in ancient text, that they will come when we are in crisis, and they will come when enough of us ask. So let's be part of those.
Time to ask. Yeah. Time to ask.
Please intervene on our behalf to the extent that you are able. Be known to us.
Yes.
Please.
It can be that simple. They heard that. They just heard me say that. And anyone else that is putting that out in mind, just to, and I don't, I don't have wild, bizarre expectations. I just want them to make their presence known so that the people of the world in greater and greater number realize that we are being watched over, that we are loved from afar and from near, that we are absolutely not alone in the universe, and that there is a better way, and they're here to help us find that.
Yeah.
If we can just accomplish that, and keep those channels of communication open, then I think that ultimately, even though it is immeasurable, I do believe that it will make a difference in the trajectory of our evolution, and particularly our spiritual growth, as we make that connection. Because, and Dana, you might agree, I think you'll agree with me, that I perceive spirit to be extraterrestrial as well. These are no longer vessels walking the earth anymore.
We can't even say that it's not us being us.
That's right.
We don't know what dimension is what, so maybe it's us watching ourselves do this kind of thing. Yeah. But then again, I get messages from people, quote, people that have passed. But in a way, you're right. That would be alien, and my cat's going to make an appearance. I'm very sorry.
Oh, that's excellent. No, that's fine. Peanut's asleep on my bed. She's a lazy ass tonight. Look at that face. Oh, look at that.
That's face. Mr. Squeakers. He's famous now. Look at him.
Oh, Mr. Squeakers.
Somebody mentioned that they heard Jonathan. You said he could hear him screaming outside my door because he went out and wanted back in. So that's what you heard.
I love it. I love it. Tony, are there any of our viewers tonight that have any specific? Yes, Diana, we all love the kitties. We have anybody that has any specific question? Why don't we open the chat up to anything that looks interesting that comes through, because we've only got about 30 minutes left, and Dana might, pick up something and be able to do a quick little read with a few people. And I think that our viewers would enjoy that.
I'm sure they would. So yeah, if you have a question for Dana, I'll put it into the chat. I will post it up, and I'm sure they're typing like crazy right now.
And just make sure you're okay with me answering it on air, because I do not hold anything back.
No, she does not.
I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
Okay.
You never know, Tony.
I have not put up the banner, and Greta actually sent me, had just while the show was going on, she put that one together that I put up. So that was really cool. All right, here's the first question.
Yes. You know, what's interesting, C by calling her C, is that really? So I'm going to call you C because that's what it said. I only started picking up on animals, I would say probably the last 7 years. I don't speak animal. It's not like I'm communicating with them in the same way I would communicate with like a human spirit. But they show up, and cats especially, but dogs as well. So yes, I do. I actually had a horse in my office. That was one of the first ones. I almost fell out of my chair thinking I was insane for the umpteenth time of my life. But yeah, it did not start for me though until just recently, really, after all these years. So that's interesting. I have helped locate lost pets.
Nice.
Got a pretty good track record with those in the area. But again, I'm not an animal communicator. Like, I can't talk to the animal and it tells me, my side hurts. I kind of can do health screenings like I do on people with them. Mm-hmm. If I notice something on the physical animal when I'm at someone's home, for instance, I'll address it. But it's not, that has to be a live animal, obviously. I don't speak to them in that respect.
How are you able to read someone's energy without being in their physical presence?
Question of the century. I was born a remote reader. I don't know how that all works. I just know that ever since I was little, for instance, probably one of the earliest memories of this was I wanted to go to a friend's house or something. I was very small. We're talking 6, 7, 8, maybe not 8. It was before I was that old. And my mom kept telling me that I couldn't go there because they were doing this or that. And I knew they weren't because I looked. So yeah. I kind of used it to my advantage every now and again. But I do use it now, if I'm doing a remote reading on someone, or for instance, like tonight, I can isolate it down, but I can't tell you why or how I do it because I've always done it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Tammy says, I want to ask Dana when she felt like it was okay to call herself a medium. I feel like I have been my whole life, but it's like a leap. I totally get that. Yeah. That's
an interesting question. I actually teach some things with this. Now, I'm not, I'm not going to walk around and say that I've studied with this person or that person. I haven't. I teach practical stuff I know from my experience. Mm-hmm. I would be very careful who you tell you're a medium to. I think it's great if you want to tell people you trust initially and maybe do readings on them to make sure you're picking up on, or how to approach that kind of thing. You can't really sit down with a stranger and say, your dad's here or whatever. You got to make sure you're getting that information right. But I mean, it's all on your comfort level, what you You have to be responsible with it. Put it that way. You know, if you're going to use it in your own life with your own family, you can tell the world. But if you're going to go out and like read people or do it as a profession, I would like try to find a reputable person in your area. Or I know Cindy Kaza, is it Kaza? Kaza, I think is how you pronounce it. She does online classes too.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty cool lady and she knows her stuff. There's different people that do it all over the place. I would maybe study with them for a while before I would put out a shingle or anything and read that way. Not that you were planning on it, but it's real easy for people to wake up one day and decide that they're a psychic medium anymore. And it's not very responsible. It can be a very heavy duty job.
Yeah.
You don't want to put out any false hope or information to people. And, you know, it can get dicey. So you got to be careful with it.
It comes with an incredible amount of responsibility.
It does.
And it has to be taken very seriously, you know, because people are sharing, you know, some of their deepest, most innermost emotions with you. And it's a multi-layered kind of communication.
Yeah.
Where it's not just you and the client, it's, you know, others and spirit that comes through and communication coming through messages from others. And it holds every medium, bona fide medium that I know describe their gift as a burden. Everyone.
I can tell you as a kid, it was not a fun time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was tough. It was isolating in a lot of ways, you know, especially with my dad. It's not my dad's fault. I'm not blaming my dad. He was just so completely fed up the second time I blew up a microwave walking by it that he didn't know what to do with it.
You know, my energy does
TKR going on in the early teens.
Oh my God, there are times my energy, it's ridiculous. Zoe, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
Zoe needs help developing her connection with spirit and channeling and struggles to meditate.
Oh, Zoe, you are preaching to the choir with meditation. I am horrible at meditating. I'm always too busy in my head. I have tried. I know my friend Alita Smith does great things, and I can get into certain modes sometimes with it. I'm really horribly distracted. I do my best, but I can probably only meditate for maybe 5 minutes before the cat needs something, or I'm just not programmed for that for long-term stuff.
I think it's ADHD medium. You are.
I'm a lot of the different titles of me.
Yeah.
The weirdo, the oddball, whatever you want to call me. Can I read you just by your name? I probably could, but this is kind of not in a good, you'd have to ask me a question because otherwise I'd have to go into a whole reading for you. If does that make sense? I mean, that's kind of a hard one. A weather keeper.
Have you ever heard of a weather keeper?
I have heard of a weather keeper. Back to the meditation thing. I think it's really important that some people are very, very good at it. And I think it is a very important part of this study. If you can do it, do it. Just because I can't, you might be better than me that way.
I am in a perpetual state of meditation if I have got a cigarette in my hands. If I'm sitting on my terrace, staring up into the sky.
4 years ago, so I stopped, but I had to. So
I would smoke my makeup brush if I had to. I just I really.
God, I don't want to see that happening.
I know, like a different version of Groucho Marx. You know what I mean? But
as far as the weather, the element question, the people that can control elements, I personally can't do that. I wouldn't ever say at any time with any of this that somebody can't, because I can't do it doesn't mean somebody else out there maybe can. It sounds crazy, but so do I. So, you know, I think the Native Americans,
Yeah.
they're like my main, that's why I hold everybody to that standard. I always have. And I'm not Native American, by the way.
My mother is Cherokee,
But I
and she
hold-
can make it rain. My mother can make it rain.
And that's what I mean. There are certain things, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, because I think it can and does, apparently, with your mom.
Yep.
I can call crows.
Me too. Well,
Since I
I've
was a
made it
little
rain
kid.
too. I
Not
do
lately,
my rain dance. And you know, my mother invokes the great spirit, and you know, and she has taught me over the years, you know, how to feed the birds from my hands and to meet their vibration so that they will literally drop out of the sky into my hands and on my shoulders and feed from my hands when I'm out there refilling the feeders. You know, so some of that has been passed down to me through my extraordinary mother. But yes, I there are people who can manipulate the weather, and they are some would say they are witches or warlocks because they are practitioners that manipulate energy and can literally create atmospheric shifts and move stuff a little bit on the radar here or a little bit there. I mean, I've seen it done.
Those that work with the elements, witches are some of those people. I'm one of them.
And also, interestingly, they're the ones that seem to pick up on the elementals. They're the ones that seem to be most in tuned and, you know, feeling like they'll be out in nature and they'll snap a photograph. And then when you look at the photograph, there's a face in the trees. You know, that's, I mean, and it's not just what do you call it? Not a doppelganger. No, what do you call it? What's the word?
Pareidolia.
Pareidolia.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's a face in the trees. And, you know, we know nothing compared with what there is to know that's going on this planet and in this universe.
I agree.
You know, so why should it not be a face? And why is it not, you know? I've seen Tenny conjure stuff out of the depths of Lake Huron.
I saw it happen in the middle of the ocean on a cruise with him. We had dragonflies come in.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ocean. Thousands of them, or at least hundreds. It was nuts. It was a weird time.
Diane.
Grassy Fields. There's a message there.
Grassy Fields.
It sounds like, okay, can I, this is my off the hip answer to that, because obviously I don't know the ins and outs. I would say that could be a past life memory. If you don't believe in those, sorry. I do. It could be that, or it could be something that they're communicating to you within that, whatever maybe glyphs are on it or something. Best thing to do, what I tell a lot of my clients to do that are having dream type things, make sure to keep a journal by your bed and write down the day and what was going on. Even if it's minuscule, write it down, because you might start noticing you're dreaming the same dream over and over again with more detail, or they're putting little things in here or there. And it's hard to track that without writing it down, because what do most of us do upon waking? We forget what we were dreaming about.
Yep.
We get bombarded with conscious reality and stimulation, and boom.
Journaling is a pain in my butt. I hate journaling. However, in this case, I think it's important if you're having questions about that sort of thing. Write that stuff down, because there's a message in there.
I think Seabath Rage is a great name.
It is.
I also think another great name would be Seabath Salts.
So when you get sick of that one, honey, change it to, would you put that back up? I was so busy amusing myself. I didn't really read the question. Stop it, Dana. Don't laugh at me. Don't encourage me like that. I have problems with electricity. Yeah.
I am not disciplined.
Can I relate to that? I affect electronics so much I can't drive newer cars. Oh my God. You know what? Just ahead, because I short everything out. I suck the life out of every battery that comes near me. I'm like,
cell phones,
yes, I totally get it.
Clocks.
Yep.
I don't do that. My thing is like microwaves, toasters, stuff that can like cause sparks.
Yeah.
I never had the battery thing. My friend Raina does. The woman can't keep a watch or a phone to save her life.
Yeah.
But mine was more like walk by, poof. Walk by it, poof. My dad got so angry with me at one point. I wasn't allowed in my kitchen for like a week, 2 weeks, because I kept.
Wow.
That was back when microwaves weighed like 9 million pounds, and they were like, expensive,
big clunky things, and very expensive,
Yeah, I got in some. I'm like, I wasn't. It was TKR at that point. I had no control over it. It wasn't like I meant to do it, or did I?
Or did you?
Or did I? It's all for you.
But I totally get it. I spent an evening with friends in Roswell, Georgia, one time a few years ago, and
stunned that you were in Roswell. Whatever would have taken you there?
Georgia, not New Mexico.
Oh.
And Joe and Diana are their names, and Joe said to me, Andrea, what do you know about extraterrestrials? And I was like, oh my God, that's my subject. And they had like 24 lights set in their kitchen, and just like up into the ceiling. It was a beautiful, beautiful home, beautiful kitchen. And I said, I told them, I said, when I first saw, how far back my experiences go to, when I was a wee bit. And that I had a very emotional moment when I saw the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I said to them, when the being that came off the ship that looked like the praying mantis came down out of the ship, I said, I had a come to mama moment. And just as I did that, sparks came off my fingers and I shorted the whole house out. Everything.
What color were the sparks?
Green, lime green.
I have somebody that is having blue come off of her. I've seen it. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's why I was asking you.
Yeah. I'll have to do it.
Jenny Laporte, if you're out there, that's who I'm talking about.
Is that really? I know her.
Uh-huh. Yeah. She's got blue. It like illuminates in the dark. It's the craziest thing.
It's the craziest thing. I know. I've done it too. I've seen it happen when I just go out in the middle of the night to walk Peanut and I'm reaching for the leash and I'll just get this like tip, just this like, and sometimes it's white, sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's lime green, sometimes
I'm jealous
purple.
now. I want a color. I'm kidding. Hair like humans.
Debbie, do we know of any extraterrestrial beings with hair like humans? Not personally. Although I would say that I'm absolutely convinced that they exist among us and that in many ways they resemble us to the extent that they are they cannot be discerned from average human beings walking down the street. I have encountered several people that I feel were either earth angels or they were extraterrestrial beings that had dropped into a body. I've had several encounters with people. Jenny's with us. Yes. And the Nordics generally have long, thick, blonde hair and big blue eyes.
Jenny.
And, You're so fresh.
I know.
But there are most of the races that are interacting with us are humanoid. Most. Is that your cat that did that? Was that a dog? That was a dog.
No. Whose
What was
dog
that?
is that? That's not my house. Okay.
It's
Tony
Tony's
messes
house.
up. All right.
Okay. Oh, that's why I put the little. Okay, I see that. I see what you did. It's okay. We love that puppy, Tony. You know, you could just pick that puppy up and present like, you know, the Lion King presents the baby. Just present.
It's downstairs right now,
she's
but barking
asleep
up
in the
a
middle of my bed. Well, okay. So have we answered all the questions that there are? Are there more questions?
Not at the moment. If there are any more, though, we got a few minutes left. Dana, I want to ask you. I put together that information you gave to me, and I put it into a banner. Do you want me to run that so they know how to? That
you
was
can, and I can say it while it's running too.
Well, yes. Yeah. Okay.
That would be good.
Do that.
I have never done it like that before. I've never done this before because Annie, you're going to be there too, right?
Yes, I'm really going to try to just host it and just, you know, be an extra presence there to try to keep it. You know, like if you need me for anything, you know, I'm going to be there. I'm sure Greta will be there. I'm sure Christina will be there. I'm sure Erin will be there. This is going to be a wonderful gathering of individuals that
I am doing another. I can do. Are you able to do it? See, I have to do it earlier than evening. That's the problem.
Yes, I can do it whatever time.
Okay.
All you have to do is tell me what time.
Well, I wanted to start about 2 p.m. Central Time because that's where I'm at.
So that's 3 p.m. Eastern.
Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine. Okay. That's absolutely fine.
If you're interested in doing this, email me and you can see it running across the bottom. And I will send you a link to a Zoom. And then I'll bring everybody in. My Venmo and PayPal is on there. You don't have to do it right now. If you don't, you know, it's for the free will thing. So you can wait until Sunday or whatever you want to do. If you're interested in coming, send me a message.
I want you to be compensated for your time and your energy and your, you know, but isn't, I know you. This is not about the money. This is not about money.
It's not. So what I can do is I'll send, and if you can't come on Sunday and you really wanted to, I will give people $25 off a regular length reading with me, which would be done remotely as well. My regular readings are $100, so that's a pretty good discount. And if you can't make it, I will offer that out to somebody. But I think we probably should limit that gallery to like maybe 15 at the most.
Okay. So
because otherwise there's too much and I'd be hitting everybody. I want to make sure I have enough time so I'm not just spitting something out moving along. I don't like to read like that.
No. And we'll take as long as it takes. You know, I mean, God, football season's over. What the hell do I have to do? You know, it's over. You know, maybe a little golf later in the day. So anyway, that's wonderful. We've only got a few minutes left. So, you know, you've told people how to reach out to you here now. And, you know, why don't we just, the three of us, my darling Tony and my darling Dana, put our heads together and let's all of us focus on what is most important in our world tonight. Let there be peace on earth. Dare to have faith and hope and a belief that life can be better and that people can be rescued from tragic circumstances and that love will ultimately rule the day and rule the earth, and that fear will dissipate because there won't be any need for it anymore. Let us reach out to each other and lift one another up and bring each other into the light and place in the forefront of our consciousness what kind of world we want to live in and what do we want to leave for our offspring. So take these few minutes. You don't have to call it a meditation, just focused thought, and then set your intention and hold it in the forefront of your consciousness. Hold it with delicacy like a rose, so that you do not crush the petals, nor will you be impaled by the thorns. Hold it like a dream. Hold it like your most fervent desire, and love each other powerfully, because ultimately love is our superpower. And with that, I thank you, Dana. I love you, Tony. And I wish all of you a blessed and beautiful good night.
Thank you, everybody.